YouTube, how you going? Today is, ready, it is, I think it's Thursday, the 19th of April 2018. My name's Jan Silver. You know what I've been vlogging about, and I think if you've been watching me you'll know exactly where I am. I've stopped on this little bench here on one of my walks and figured I'd do an update, not so much weight loss related though, guys. You'll know that I'm in France looking after Tom and helping out with him while his dad's on a business trip. So that has been really exhausting, if I'm being honest. I kind of want you to have the water in the background. There you go. I've got sunnies on, so I'll just have to excuse the sun in my face. Yeah, it's been pretty exhausting. Oh, there's flies everywhere. It's one thing I can't stand walking through the woods and stuff here. It's the bees, wasps and the flies, but there you go, such is life. So yeah, I got here on Sunday early doors, Sunday morning. Steve was around Sunday and Monday daytime, so Tom and I hung out, and yeah, I kind of feel it's a bit of an NSV really, I think. Not travelling on my own. I've travelled on my own in the past, but generally Howie sorts a lot of stuff out. I rely on my husband quite a lot for driving, for even when we go away in Aggie, I drive, but I get him to do that first stint, which gives me the confidence to know which side of the road I'm on, you know, coming up to a roundabout, how different it all is. But here I haven't had Howie by my side, so I've had to have a certain amount of confidence, and yeah, I'm really quite proud of myself. You know, the sat-nav might not have worked. How the hell was I going to get Tom to meeting points where he needed to be and meet this disabled group that he's been going off with all week? But I've done it, and yeah, I kind of feel slightly liberated, I guess, and really proud of myself. Not only for that, for kind of getting in a car and trusting the sat-nav and getting us all over the place. I drove us to Belfort, the main town, on Monday. We had a walk through the town up into the fort, which was absolutely beautiful, and then on Tuesday I had to drive Tom to this location to be picked up by the disabled group that were looking after him. I don't know what else to call it, by the way, guys. I'm sure that's not PC, but here they're called they're a group that caters for the disabled, or they actually use the word handicap here, and I know that's not PC, but anyway. So yeah, that was Tuesday. Wonderful. I didn't realise that we were actually hopping over the border. Where we are in Belfort here, it's right on the border of Germany and Switzerland. So on Tuesday, ended up in Switzerland, hiking through a forest with these this group of people who, you know, I've met some people from all walks of life, from all different countries of the world, and these guys on Tuesday I felt a little bit overwhelmed by what they did for these kids. You know, about 4 or 5 of these children had never walked. Obviously, I didn't ask. My French, I don't have any French. Their English was limited. I'm presuming a lot of them had cerebral palsy, you know, disabilities. Some could walk, but not very well with walking frames, others. Anyway, we got to the point in Switzerland, into the middle of this forest, and these guys started taking out these amazing wheelchairs. It's like a carriage where you have 2 hooks at the front. So you had one person at the front, and then the child sat really comfortably, and someone behind, because you couldn't hike up and down a forest with a child in a normal day-to-day wheelchair. So my hat's off to them. I'm in total awe. Tom, obviously with no eyes, hiked. Tom doesn't get an awful lot of exercise, and as I've said before, you know, I don't want this to come across as if I'm knocking anybody, because Julie and Steve have done the most amazing thing for Tom, to adopt him, take him out of the orphanage, take him out of China, but he's in a mainstream school here and he has an assistant with him, so he's kind of forgotten that he's got a disability. He's kind of forgotten that not having eyes makes him disabled, like the other kids he's spent this week with. And you know, we've had a few stern words this week in saying, I think at one point Tom mimicked one of the children that slurred a bit, and I was really cross with him, but I had to pull myself back a bit and say, why did you do that? And he said, but why are they speaking like that? And I said, because Tom, but maybe he just hadn't been explained to properly that the children he was about to spend this week with all have a disability of some sort, and he didn't really realise that. And when he did, he said, I don't want to speak to them if they can't speak properly. I said, that's really mean, Tom. I said, they're not looking at you and saying, well, he hasn't got eyes, so I don't want to speak to him. So yeah, it's been a difficult week in that respect. And Tom, at the end of the day, just because he's got no eyes, he's completely able-bodied in every other way, and he's a 13-and-a-half-year-old cheeky little monkey, you know. So he's a wind-up merchant. He'll do things to wind me up, and yeah, but that's a normal thing, right? I've just forgotten what it's like to be around somebody 20. I mean, I haven't. I had Tom for a while in England, didn't I? But yeah, I am shattered, to be honest. I don't quite know how Steve is really coping and doing it. Julie's only passed away in January, and yeah, it's tough. It's tough. And Steve's trying to hold down a full-time job to keep the wages coming in. So yeah, I'm glad that I'm able to come and help when needed, and hopefully I can step in and do this at different points. I've offered to have Tom in the summer, and you know, we'll see how we go. He's got a long way to go in the learning curve, and yeah, spending time with other children with disabilities is a really good thing in my mind for Tom, that he needs to understand, you know, just because he's with able-bodied adults 24/7, he's also not realising what it's like to try and be independent of that. So trying to tell him, you know, I've prepared your fruit salad for the morning, you could be putting it into a bowl and feeling your way. And he said, no, I just spill it, Jan. And I'm like, well, no, come on, let's try. And he said, well, Steve shouts at me if I spill it. And I'm like, oh, Tom, but we're parents, of course we do. And then do you know what the little sod did? Went over and he spilt the yogurt on purpose. And I was like, Tom, and he admitted it. I said, did you do that on purpose? He was like, yeah. He was cross because I was making him do something that's going to help him with a bit of independence. Because there's a slight bit of, well, I've had this help for the last few years, why do I need to become independent? But I don't think that's helping him. So anyway guys, it's been a struggle, a beautiful struggle, put it that way, because I don't want to be negative about it. It's tough going and tough work, and I adore him, but yeah, he's hard work at times. Aren't all children. But I'm here till Saturday evening. I get back with Howie, and then in fact Mason's girlfriend's coming over from Texas, so I can't wait to see her. We're having a big family meal on Sunday. I'll cook a roast dinner, so that'll be good, and then I'll need a bloody holiday, I think. so anyway, yeah, enough about Tom. Not only have I stepped out of my comfort zone in, you know, driving a car without my husband here, using a sat nav. Luckily it speaks English, because I wouldn't have a clue if it didn't. And the couple of days now that I've had free, I've actually walked. So I'm on the end of my walk now. Julie and Steve live about a mile back down this road. I've extended my walk a tiny bit today just because I feel quite good, and yeah, I want to get some steps in. But yeah, above all, France is absolutely beautiful. Howie and I can't wait now to actually, there's a cobweb just flown onto my thing, sorry guys. Howie and I now can't wait for the end of May, when we're actually going away in Aggie. We're off, as you know, I think I've told you, we're off to Bilbao in Spain. We get a ferry crossing with the motorhome, end up in Spain, drive up through Spain, and we're going to end up in Portugal. So we're actually away for 3 weeks, and I cannot wait. That's not going to be cooking, cleaning and running after somebody and being their eyes and ears and, you know, all the rest of it. So yes, I'm looking forward to a break. My back is still really killing me, guys. I think I need to get straight to the chiropractor when I get home. I'm okay while I'm walking, how bizarre is that? But when I get up in the morning and I go and sit in the car and drive Tom somewhere, it bloody just really hurts, and I almost can't stand back up again. But walking is doing me the power of good. So yeah, I'm not sure what tomorrow holds. Tom's actually got another free day tomorrow. Steve probably is going into work. So I'll plan something and get out and about, I'm sure, get Tom to get some more steps in. He does very little exercise in his life, like I said, so he's been physically shattered this week, because this disabled group are just amazing. They actually got him to swim as well, which he didn't want to do. He was so out of his comfort zone. It was unbelievable. He was anxious and nervous, and it really worried him. He didn't take his trunks because we said, look, no one's going to force you to do anything. And they persuaded him. They borrowed some trunks and got him in the pool, and he had him floating all about. But that must be really hard for someone without eyes, right? To actually trust that you're not going to go under, and you can't see what everybody else is doing in floating and not, I don't know, it just must be so hard. And again, it's a bit like when I had Tom before. My hat's even more off to Julie and Steve now for what they've done for Tom and the lifelong commitment they've made, because it's not a small thing, is it? It's a huge thing to adopt somebody like this. But there you go. I will leave you with that beautiful view. I've waffled on for longer than I should, so I'm going to leave you guys now. I hope you're all really well, healthy and happy. I think I've got some new followers, so thank you very much, guys. Obviously I haven't weighed in. I've eaten like shit. I've drunk a bottle of wine every night. I'm not going to deny it. I'm knackered, and I kind of, I'm thinking like I deserve it because I feel like I'm on holiday even though I'm not on holiday. So I need to kick my ass back into shape when I get back to the UK on, well, next week. Okay guys, take care. Lots of love to you all. Thanks for watching. Bye.